Hello, everyone. This is Lions Den with another news and commentary. Now, this story is sort of similar to the Carmelo Anthony case. It's crazy. So, I did some TikTok videos of the situation that happened on this story as well. Um, and this incident happened in Fayetteville, Georgia. This is what I'm about to tell you about. But what I'm going to tell you is kind of scheduled. It's sort of like, again, the Carmelo Anthony story, um, but it shows you the differences of this case. Now, this incident happened last year, and this happened in 2024. Now, I'm gonna give a shout out to Black News. It says a Georgia black teen sentenced to 70 years in prison for defending himself at a Walmart. Now, I watched all the TikTok videos. I'm going to read this in a second, but I watched the TikTok videos of and some people said it was a random shooting, that he shot not only this person, but the 5-year-old girl was in the crossfire, and this Hispanic woman was with them at the time. It was what is his accomplice. But in this situation, this is going to take a dramatic turn. So this story has now ignited the black community. Said this is a miscarriage of justice because he defended himself with the guy that he deleted. So let's go read this. It say, in case of that has ignited community's outrage, Adrian Jelks, a young African-American teenager with no prior criminal record, has been sentenced to 70 years in prison after what many are calling a profound miscarriage of justice. Adrian, who maintained he acted in self-defense during a confrontation at his workplace, was convicted in the shooting deletion of Antavius Holden, despite significant evidence supporting his claim. Before this incident, Adrian was an active member of the New Macedonia Baptist Church in Riverdale, Georgia, and had planned to follow family tradition by enlisting in the U.S. Army. His future was derailed on March 29, 2024, when a confrontation with Holden, a former Walmart employee, escalated at a Fayetteville store where Jelks worked. So, we've been hearing all on mainstream media, and it hit on TikTok that, you know, Adrian Jelks was the aggressor. He was a violent shooter. He deleted this, but this comes out and saying that it was, he's been harassed by this person several times. Let's continue with the article. It says court records show that Adrian had documented multiple instances of harassment and threats from Holden, reporting them to Walmart management per company protocol. Despite these repeated complaints, store leadership failed to take protective measures. The prosecution's case appeal riddled with procedural irregularities. Excuse me. Security camera footage that reportedly captured the entire incident and would have corroborated Adrian's account was withheld from his defense team. Now, law enforcement permitted shoppers and onlookers to contaminate the crime scene, compromising crucial evidence. It says this is a clear example of justice denied, stated Jamal Richardson, the community activist who assisted Adrian when he voluntarily surrendered to authorities. The systematic failures in this case are a chilling reminder of the disparities that continue to plague our legal system. So, according to this, and I'm going to keep reading this article in a second, it shows that Walmart has the surveillance videos proving that, Jelks defended himself, and they refused to even put it use it as evidence. Why? And it continues, says that most troubling is the testimony from Fayette County Police Officer Thomas Scott, who confirmed during trial that Holden did have a gun on his person when the shooting occurred, a critical fact supporting Adrian's self-defense claim that appears to have been disregarded by the jury. And this is basically disturbing because now they got a police officer confirm that the person, who was deleted had a gun, and then Jelks did say he defended himself from him. Police and also the Walmart surveillance video proven as well. But unfortunately, they again did not introduce or been disregarded by the jury, which is shameful. And then it continues to say that the legal proceedings themselves raise serious questions. Adrian's attorney noted he was never properly indicted, yet his trial proceeded without addressing the fundamental due process violation. The result, 70-year sentence, has been described as wily, and we're going to continue with the article in a second. So it shows you, ladies and gentlemen, that if he did this in self-defense and they know it, then they should have been allowed as evidence. So okay, let's finish this. It said the legal proceedings themselves raise serious questions. Adrian's attorney noted he was never properly indicted, yet his trial proceeded without addressing the fundamental due process violation. The resulting 70-year sentence has been described as wildly disproportionate, especially in a case with clear self-defense elements. So they have a call to action that said his family demanded a thorough and impartial investigation into this case. They are calling on the Georgia legal system to release the withheld security camera footage, conduct an independent review of the investigation and trial, ratify the injustice done to Adrian Jelks, investigate Walmart's handling of the bullying reports, and investigating law enforcement handling of the crime scene. And that is the end of the article. Just like the Karmelo Anthony case in Mississippi, you have this situation right here that, according to the mainstream or local media in Georgia, they acting like Jelks is the perpetrator, Jelks is the criminal, Jelks is the bad guy. And everybody thought it was because he was accused, allegedly, of shooting not only, the the person that was accusing him of, harassment and bullying, but shooting a 5-year-old and with really, I think, a 5-year-old a child who got caught in crossfire. So you see, you have this brother get Jelks and the Hispanic girl. The Spanish girl, was allegedly saying that was, Jelks' accomplice, that she's been charged with accompanying him. But, ladies and gentlemen, if what this brother said is true, if what this article said is true, that Jelks defend himself against Octavius Holden. Octavius Holden was the person that was deleted by Jelks, right? Allegedly. And now you have a Hispanic girl who was with Jelks as his accomplice, allegedly. And now Jelks is gonna serve 70-year prison sentence over him defending himself. Now the little child was an innocent bystander. He did not target that child. She was caught in the crossfire in a way. But even a police officer even said that Holton had a gun. Even a police officer said that. And you have Walmart surveillance video captured the entire incident of the shootout and showed that Holton did have a gun. And then there's been documents of, of harassment of Jelks by Holton. But yet they label Holton as a victim. They label Holton, well, he was a victim. He deserved every bit, Jelks deserved every bit of the sentence he's getting. But really they did not give the entire story or give you actual facts of what really happened. So you have a police officer said that Jelks defending himself, per se, and you have Walmart surveillance videos also corroborated that, which the jury dismissed, which the judge dismissed. And so this is a miscarriage of justice if this is true. So we're talking about a lot of black men who has every right to defend himself. And now they want to condemn the person who's defending himself having that right. Now, now like I told you before, we're talking about a guy like Kyle Rittenhouse, which, by the way, basically he was saying he was self-defense, but he went to remember all the years he went to the Jacob Blake protest, right? With an AR-15 in his arm, by his mom took him to the protest. And yeah, you gotta be 18 to carry an AR-15 or any other, according to Indiana law. But okay, he's still 17. Okay, he shot 3 Black Lives Matter protests, deleted 2 of them, and he claimed it was self-defense. Everybody believe it. Matter of fact, a lot of people think that that he is a hero. That Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero. Even though he caught with white supremacist groups doing them white supremacist gangs up, but ladies and gentlemen, we're not talking about this. Is a different story and different case. We're talking about this case of Adrian Jelks. Adrian Jelks has never had a criminal record. His plans is joining the U.S. Army. All of that have now been done for because of this charge, because of this incident. And this is a Walmart employee. And then according to court documents, again, he's been harassed by Atavius Holden. Several harassment by Atavius Holden. Right? And then all of a sudden, they saw Atavius Holden had a gun in him. But that's not what the local media didn't want to talk about. They did not want to talk about Holden had a gun on him before the shooting happened. So now this is going to be a major public outcry for the Black community because of this story. Because we already talked about the Karmelo Anthony story, and now this story of what's going on with Adrian Jelks in Georgia. He's going to serve 70 years for self-defense, allegedly. So now you have 2 families, and I'm telling you, and believe me, Atavius Holden is also Black, by the way. But you have 2 families now, both losing, and there's no winners or there's no winners, only losing. Both families, lost something. You have a Holden family lost a child, and you have the Jelks family. They lost that brother for a prison sentence. He would be gone for the rest of his life. He would never see the light of day. So both families lost in a way. But you see, this is a time right now that we want all the facts to come out. And if what this article said is true, that Jelks defended himself from Holden after he brandishing a gun on him, in a threatened manner. What happened to that child was, basically tragic in a way. I mean, even though the child is okay, but I don't think he meant to shoot the child. And a lot of people think, oh, he shot Holden and the child. I don't think he meant to shoot that child. I think he's trying to get at Holden because Holden brandishing a gun threatened him with that. So you have him and the Hispanic girl, the Hispanic girl is also the accomplice. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a story that we need to be aware of, as well as the Karmelo Anthony story, because it brings out that a lot of people outside our community thinking that we're the criminals, we're the bad guys, we're the ones that doing the shooting, we're the violent ones. But then if we do this in self-defense, and you remember that the state of Georgia there's a stand your ground law in Georgia. And my thing is that if that's the case, why can't we have the right to defend ourselves as the other person? Now, if the role were reversed, if this person was white, they would do a Kyle Rittenhouse. They would do a GoFundMe. They would go say, "No, he defended himself because he was threatened." Blah 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 blah. If this was a white team, but unfortunately, you got two teams caught up in a shootout, and a little child was in the middle of the crossfire, and then one of them been deleted. But yet, we just found out about this story that Jelks said that he did it out of self-defense because he saw the guy with a gun. He saw basically Octavius holding with a gun, and he had the right to protect himself. So this is going to be a very interesting story, and I'm gonna keep you posted on any developments on the Adrian Jelks investigation or case as well, because this young man, if he did defend himself, well, he doesn't deserve 70 years. That's like life. In other words, it's like life sentence. 70 years? And come on. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments.